A lot of people do find it very difficult to talk about themselves, particularly when we're talking about our strengths. We feel a little bit self-conscious, or as if we are boasting or bragging to say that we are very good at something. But in an interview, this is really important. My name is Fiona. We're going to look at some of the most common questions, not all the questions, but just the most common questions that people have difficulty with. I've been doing interview preparation for about 7 years now. We've had a very high success rate. So with my examples here that I will give you, my tips, and with some preparation on your side, I'm sure you stand a very good chance of getting that position. We all know it is difficult to do interviews. We get nervous, we forget what we want to say, and sometimes you're doing it in a language that's not your own. That is even more difficult, and I feel that you can be incredibly proud of yourself when you can do an interview in another language. I'm also going to show you how to make it more positive in what you answer. I want you to be able to show some of your personality, yes, but more importantly, I want you to be able to show your skills so that you can motivate the interviewer, persuade them that you really are the right person, the best person for this position. So without any more talk, okay, let's move on to the questions that you could be dealing with in an interview, and let's look at the best possible answers that we can come up with together. Okay, I've put 2 questions down here. They are linked. All right, first of all, what are your strengths? And secondly, what do you bring to this position, or what do you bring to this company? You are going to be telling the interviewer about yourself, what you are good at, what you do very well. So it could be just how it could work in the team that you're going to be working with. If you are looking more for a management position, then again, it's going to describe yourself, your personality, your leadership skills, to show how you could then motivate that team. You are selling yourself. You are selling what you can do and what you bring to this company, to this position. So we need to really persuade that interviewer that we are the best person for the job. What are your strengths? Can you think of just a couple of things that you could list as your strengths? You might be able to come up with maybe 5, 6 different points. But I would like us to focus on just 1, maybe 2, that you can mention when you are answering this question. Another thing that I want you to keep in mind now, while you're thinking of what your strengths are, think about the position that you're applying for, and think about the company. So if you have maybe 4 or 5 different strengths, let's narrow them down and think of which ones would be the most appropriate ones for this position. Which ones would suit the company? Right. For example, if you are applying for a position as an accountant, your strengths that you want to focus on will be perhaps that you are very diligent, very logical, you don't make mistakes. It could be that you're very good with numbers. Maybe you excelled in maths in school. If you're applying for a position in sales, then the strengths you want to focus on are perhaps your communication skills. Are you very outgoing and friendly? Do you find it very easy to talk to people, even if you've never met them before? Think about your strengths, okay? Think about the position that you're applying for and which one is the most relevant. And bring it down to maybe 1 or 2 strengths that you can talk about. Just 1 or 2 that will really emphasize and show why you are the right person, the best person for this position. So the second part now of answering this question is not just to then list words. So when you answer this question now, I want you to think of your strength, and I want you to have an example that you can use. Describe how that strength has actually helped you in a situation at work. Think of an example where it helped you. Tell the interviewer just briefly, it doesn't have to be a very long story, but tell them briefly about how that strength helped you to resolve a problem or to convince a customer to do something. Think about in your accounting position, whatever it might be, finance. Okay, how did that strength help you? Give an example of how you used it to benefit you in your position, and also how it helped the company, and how then the interviewer could see the possibilities of how your strengths could now benefit this company that you're applying at.